Good evening, viewers, and welcome to CleverNet TV. CleverNet is created with a vision to connect you with the rest of the world and to the future growth of tourism and culture globally. I remain your host, Promise Ebuzeme, and with me today is a lovely lady in the name of Mrs. Ibukun Odusote, who is who is a federal permanent secretary that has held service in different ministry in the Nigerian government. She's also a marriage counselor and also a youth mentor and a coach. Thank you so much, Ma, for joining us this evening.
Thank you, Promise.
Please, Ma, if you can please introduce yourself to the viewers.
Thank you very much. Promise, you were already on the line during the introduction. My name is Ibukun Abimbola Odusote. I'm a retired federal permanent secretary in Nigeria, and I had served in various ministries and departments of government in Nigeria. I actually served as federal permanent secretary for 10 years. So that gave me opportunity to be in several places. And as Promise has mentioned, I take delight in youth empowerment. Youth spend quite a lot of time on issues that pertain to the youth and also to marriages. I happen to also be a pastor. I pastor in a Foursquare Gospel Church in Nigeria and a Foursquare Gospel Church in many other places all over the world. I had at a time been permanent secretary under the secretary to the government of the Federation. And with that, I was in charge of diaspora issues. That's what brought me into contact with people and issues in the diaspora. In short, that's the Mrs. Odusote that you have tonight.
Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you so much for joining us. And viewers, thank you for joining us this evening. Just in case you're joining us now, today we're speaking on building stronger connections between Africa and global diaspora. I'm really impressed about everything you've said about you being a coach and also the service you've rendered to Nigeria and also being a pastor. So my question is, how are you able to combine all this?
Oh, in terms of combining, it just means multitasking. Because even aside from all this, I happen to be an IT person and I still pursue my IT practice in various ways. Um, by the grace of God, you trust God to help you. You also plan your time effectively. So you wouldn't find me wasting my time. There are others that would spend more time doing some things that are not that important to their day. But it's of course, it stretches me a little more, like wake up very early in the morning and walk through virtually the whole day. At the close of day, you just have sufficient sleep to be able to survive. It also requires being intentional about steps that you take and actions that you do. It's also about sharing out one's time. You wouldn't be able to cope with the kinds of things that I do if you don't have a to-do list on a daily basis. And apart from daily basis, you also have to do weekly basis and then monthly basis so that your priorities are put in place and then you'll be able to achieve all that you need to achieve. Sometimes you are not able to take on everything. Like some of your mentees are having some specific actions, some are getting married and things like that, and they would expect you to be there. Thanks for Zoom, thanks for Skype and all this communication technology access. that enables us to do all the kinds of things that we want to do. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to attend some of the functions. There are some things you just wouldn't be able to cope with. But we try as much as possible to cut down on waste so that the little time that is available is properly utilized.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mark, for sharing that, especially with the aspect of having a to-do list, a monthly to-do list, and a weekly to-do list. I'm sure everyone watching this will be, in case they are not, they don't have this list. I'm sure they will consider having this list. Thank you so much for sharing that. What do you think about diaspora, the people in diaspora? What's your take about the people in diaspora?
Well, having been on the desk for a while and being in contact with Nigerians to start with, essentially, my would be to Nigerians in diaspora. We observe that Nigerians are making waves all over the world. Nigerians are all over the world. And Nigerians, in some cases, if care is not taken, Nigerians are uh, mishandled in some places by reason of maybe some characters that would have violated rules, that would have done various kinds of things that are contrary to the laws of the land where they are. A number of Nigerians will be in some places and they wouldn't show up at all at Nigerian embassy or Nigerian High Commission, so they are not available to be counted. So you really don't know who they are, where they are. But you have a sizable number that are doing tremendous work. They are doing outstanding work that just beats the imagination of anyone. That people that probably would have been quiet in Nigeria, they would have been unnoticed in Nigeria, are out there making great strides. And then because of that, some are sending huge remittances. The record of remittances shows that the Nigerians that are there have the potential to provide sufficient figures in terms of funds that come into the country, harnessed and if properly aggregated, that would help in the development of the nation. So Nigerians are people that you must reckon with in diaspora. We talked about in the United States, in the UK, in Spain, in Europe, every part of Europe, in Africa, some other African countries, you still find Nigerians and in top leadership positions in most of these. So the diaspora it means so much to the system, to any nation, especially a nation like Nigeria. And that's why we feel that putting all this together is quite important for us.
Thank you so much, Mark. Thank you for sharing that. It's beautiful to see that someone cares so much for our fellow citizens that are outside Nigeria. Thank you so much, Mark, for what you're doing. I'm sure people appreciate. We're talking about the global diaspora symposium 2023, African Diaspora Symposium 2023. So, can you please tell us about this event that is happening?
The genesis of this is that at a particular time, the chairman of Nigerians in Diaspora Commission um, began to do beyond just looking after Nigerians in diaspora, was also looking out for Africans in diaspora, being our brothers keepers. And there was a program that took place in Kenya. There's a Kenya diaspora. So the Kenyan Diaspora Alliance organized an African Diaspora Summit, something like that, a conference, and which she participated in actively. And then the Caribbean, Brazilians, African Americans, Pacific Islanders, Afro Europeans, Asians, etc., at some point we're starting to think that we should be able to bring ourselves together and have a look at what it is that we can bring together to the table that would make impact in the globe generally, so that we can harness the resources that we have in everything that we have. So we want to build stronger connections between Africa and the global diaspora. So the idea came together that using the African Diaspora Alliance that is in Kenya, the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, and the Organization of African, Caribbean, and Pacific States that even held a conference a year ago where Honorable Abike Dabiri-Erewa, who is the chairman of Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, was actually made the ambassador, the diaspora ambassador for the entire region. That we should see how we could bring all these organizations together, bring all these people together, harness the brains and the resources that we have in them from all over the world, so that we can enhance the effectiveness in Africa, and also we can enhance the productivity in Africa. And we can also, in our various countries, be able to get better results from the responsibilities that these ones are carrying out. You know, in terms of medicine, whatever they are doing in medicine that can be shared across the nations, whatever they are doing in education, outstanding things in AI, and our people are in all these areas. So what we want to do is to have a conversation that can give us some positive results, steps that can be taken to give the results that we want, to give the connections that we want, so that what is not available in Nigeria, that is available in Kenya, we can put our hands on it and we can draw from the resource that is there. We can leave Kenya and be connected with South Africa for whatever it is that we can pull out of South Africa or Malawi or wherever, Brussels for OACPS and all the other organizations that are participating. That's what we want to do. We want to connect ourselves together, and we want to build networks that work for us and will work for the globe.
Thank you so much, Matt. This are wonderful ideas you guys have come up with, because this doesn't just talk about productivity, but also creativity in Africa, and also bringing unity in Africa, which is the beauty, so that we can have one Africa. Um. So, tell us more about what I know. You've mentioned so many goals and the objectives you guys have, but what are the main goals you guys have in Global African Diaspora Symposium?
Okay, maybe I should just pick out directly, as we have it in our concept note. There's a concept note that is defining what we are doing at the symposium. What we want to achieve, we want to create an interface for networking among African and other diaspora all over the world. We want to promote the implementation and institutionalization of Pan-Africanism at the UN through the celebration of International Decade for People of African Descent. We want to build bridges between Africa and the diaspora by deepening relations between the African Union and CARICOM, OACPS, SPF, among others, in realizing the diaspora as the sixth region of the African Union. We want to explore and engage the contributions of diaspora skills, particularly in scientific knowledge and technology transfer. We want to mobilize diaspora savings and diaspora philanthropic contributions and harness migration, remittances, and diaspora contributions for suitable development. We want to enhance participation of the diaspora in Africa's development process to support the development of the roadmap for the diaspora as a sixth region of Africa towards the attainment of African Union's Agenda 2063. And finally, we want to use this as and practice changes conducive to more effective integration of diaspora-led actions in the national development plans of their countries of origin through organizations such as OACPS. So, and immediately from there, what we want, our expected outcomes. We want palpable sense of belonging and homecoming for the entire Africa global diaspora. We want ease of entry and movement for the diaspora into and within Africa. We want greater involvement of the diaspora in Africa's development process, working with institutions and policymakers at all levels. We want improved collaboration on diaspora engagement between multilateral organizations, including the AU, EU, CARICOM, OACPS, IOM, SPF. I probably will give you the details of all these acronyms. Then institutionalization of the symposium through the adoption of the symposium by the African Union as a biennial diaspora day event. We want that to happen. To become a platform for the promotion of the global diaspora as key resource for positively projecting and developing Africa. And finally, we want to actualize the aspirations, goals, and priorities of the Africa Agenda 2063. Those are our ideas, those are our goals, those are our expectations, and we are working very hard at making sure they are achieved.
Thank you so much.
Promise, are you there?
Yes, Ma. Thank you so much, Ma. To be honest, I'm really impressed, and you've said so many interesting ideas because every idea you all have put together makes Africa to stand out, which is what we have always wanted, a united Africa that makes us stand out from the rest of other continents. Thank you so much, Ma, for sharing that. And regarding the events that is the Global African Diaspora Symposium 2023, what role will you be playing at the event?
Okay. I started my own role long before now. I'm the chairman of the planning committee, and I have a co-chair who is based in the United States, but working through Kenya. That's Dr. Beach. So it means that we had started to do this planning for the past 1.5 years. We've been working day and night because we are coordinating people that are based in different regions of the world. In the planning committee, we have representatives from Malawi, we have from Australia, we have from the United States, the West Coast, the East Coast, we have from Kenya, we have from Nigeria, yes, of course, and then yes, we have from Europe. So when we have our meetings, when it is a day for us here, it's midnight for them in Australia, and it is early morning for them in the United States in some parts, In some other parts, it's in the night. So we have had several meetings planning, and we haven't met some of the people that we've been working with for the past 18 months. We've not met physically. All our meetings have been online. So I will still be playing the role of coordinating the activities of the day, ensuring that all the things that we have in our program are executed exactly the way we have planned them. We also had taken responsibility for publicizing the program, part of which is this interview that we are going through right now. The chairman of Nigerians in Diaspora Commission and the Directorate of Technical Cooperation in Africa, the Director General, had addressed a press conference with my humble self too. Some few weeks ago, we have had to call in global press to ensure that we had proper presentation, both online and offline, in terms of physical, maybe papers, radio, television, internet, various ways that we have spread the news of this summit. And we know that quite a number of organizations have signed up to be here. Some few presidents have signed up. We probably are not allowed to announce who and who is coming for several reasons, but many countries around us have signed up, and we expect that we are having huge representations at the summit. So we are looking forward to a very good symposium come 27th and 28th of April this year.
Thank you so much, Ma, for sharing that. I know you made mention about you not being allowed to mention the names of those who will be attending, but I just want to ask a question: Who are the special guests that will be in the event?
Okay, yes, well, I can go ahead and actually tell you because it's no longer um, it's no longer a secret. We're going to be having the those that I've already mentioned in terms of the Nigerian leaders in the diaspora issues, the Director General, Directorate of Technical Cooperation in Africa, Ambassador Rabiu Dagari. Then we are going to have Honorable Dr. Abike Dabiri Rewa, who is the Chief Executive, the Chairman, Nigerians in Diaspora Commission. Then we are having Dr. Shem Ochodo, who is the Kenyan Diaspora Alliance Global Chairman. We have a number of other people like the Director General, International Organization for Migration, IOM, Mr. Antonio Vitorino. The Indian High Commissioner to Nigeria, His Excellency Shri Balasubramanian. Honorable Ministers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria for Foreign Affairs, His Excellency Ambassador Zubairu Dada, Honorable Minister of State for Budget and National Planning in Nigeria, Prince Clement Agba, the President, Association of Nigerian Physicians in the Americas, Dr. Chinyere Anyogu. You still want to know more? I should still go on, promise? I don't have any problems, I'll tell you. I have a lot of them. And then the Secretary General of Organization of African, Caribbean, and Pacific States, OACPAS, His Excellency Georges Rebelo Pinto Chikoti is coming in person. Then the President of Kenya, His Excellency William Ruto, is expected. The President, African Union, His Excellency Azali Assoumani, the President of the Union of the Comoros, is going to be here. The Secretary the President, Economic Community of West African States, His Excellency Omar Aliu Toure, is also going to be present. And last but not the least, of course, our own celebrated President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, is actually inviting everybody. He's the main convener of Nigerians, the Global African Diaspora Symposium. That's just the list of the who and who that will be at the beginning. We still have so many names of top people all over the world that are coming in person to Abuja come next week. I hope you are coming to promise. I should mention your name. That promise Ebuzeme also is going to be present at the summit.
I was about to ask the same question. I was like, okay, with all these names you've mentioned, I'm sure so many viewers are like, am I allowed to be at the event? A lot of people want to know if they're allowed to be in the event. So let us know who and who is allowed to be in the event. Is it open for everyone or anyone, or are there specific people?
Open to people that have registered, and because the event is free, no one is expected to pay any. There's no registration fee, participation fee for the program. So, of course, when that happens, almost everyone would want to be present at the meeting. But the priority that we give to physical participation is that they have to be diasporans. That's the number one priority. So then the others that are maybe Nigerians or people that are around that just want to participate, when we have the full capacity of diaspora and we still have space, we will take them physical. But otherwise, the program is hybrid event, so we are doing both physical and online. So people are also registering to be online. And the Zoom link has already been published on our website. So it means that from now, people can take the details of the link and then they'll be able to work with it from now.
Thank you so much, Ma. Viewers, I'm sure you've heard what Mr. Ibukun has just told us now. Everyone is allowed to be in this event. Priority are given to those in diaspora to attend physically. But you can join in this event via Zoom meeting. This is a wonderful event, which I'm sure everyone would love to be involved in the event. Thank you so much, Ma. Viewers, we'll quickly go for a short break and we'll be right back because Mrs. Ibukun has so many more to tell us more about the diaspora events taking place on the 27th and 28th of April.
Clevenard in Diaspora Television is an internet online TV service. What sets us apart is a unique combination of hit African content, first and exclusive international free movies, series, musics, news, events, documentaries, tourism, teleshopping shows, youth TV programs, and live interviews. Clevenard Diaspora Television is available throughout sub-Saharan Africa and to the diaspora markets worldwide. Take your entertainment with you wherever you go. Watch on your smartphone, tablet, laptop, smart TV, depending on your device. Watch free movies with Clevenard Movies Television. Stop searching for free movies websites and watch Clevenard Movies Television. Watch your favorite African shows anywhere at any time. Don't forget to check out our top 5 TV channels created to get you informed. TV1, Clevenard in Diaspora Television. TV2, Clevenard Youth Television. TV3, Clevenard Movies Television. TV4, Clevenard Teleshopping Television. TV5, Clevenard Tourism Television. To start watching, sign up at www.clevenard.com and follow the easy steps. Once you're done, log into the Clevenard website or app on your device, click on any one of our 5 TV channels and hit play. We will be very satisfied and happy to welcome you to our team as one of our new business partners. Contact info@clevenar.com +34 631 279811. Website www.clevenar.com.
Thank you, viewers, for staying with us. Welcome back to CleverNet TV. I still remain your host, Promise Ebuzeme, and with me is an amazing speaker, Mrs. Ibukun Odusote. We've been speaking about the Global African Diaspora Symposium, which is coming up in April 27 and 28. She has said so many more, a lot about the event, and it's allowed for everyone to join the events. You can also join online via Zoom link, which is on the website, but you have to register to be able to attend this event. Ma'am, what are the planned programs for this event with regards to the topic, the agenda, and the location of this event?
Okay. The venue is going to be the presidential villa. There's a banquet hall. We call it the conference hall of the presidential villa. That's where it's going to take place. And it's going to be strictly by registration, proper accreditation. So all guests that have registered will need to pick up their security tags from different angles. For those that are registered just online, their cards will be available within the premises on that day, and their list will be at the security gate. It's necessary to emphasize on this because it is the presidential villa. People can't walk in anyhow. You have to have registered, and you cannot register just a day before the program or register at the gate. No, you must have done the registration well ahead of time. So you still can do registration, I think, till the program is 27. We said till 25th, people are still free to register. And then they will be able to get their tags prepared, ready for them. The working language will be bilingual. That means it will be English and it will be French. And we have said it is going to be physical and it's going to be virtual. So we'll start off with an opening ceremony on the 27th, where all the people that I mentioned will have one thing or the other to say. And it will be closed up by the keynote address of our celebrated President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR. After that, we would have like a break, and then we have plenary session, and we will be discussing at the first session diaspora home return issues for African states. I'm sure that's going to be exclusive. And then the kind of panel discussion that will follow, global experiences in diaspora engagement, the OACPS perspective. We would have people from OACPS. We'll have the Director General of Ethiopian Diaspora Service, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ethiopia, would be present as a discussant. And then we are getting a director from Congolese abroad. Ministry of Foreign Affairs would also be there. Then director from Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Jamaica, is going to be there. Deputy Director, Information and Research, Ministry of International Relations and Cooperation, Republic of Namibia, is also going to be there. Mrs. Elizabeth Inyataki, Director, Diaspora Affairs, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration in Ghana will be there. And then the desk officer, senior desk officer, Minister of Foreign Affairs, International Cooperation and External Trade, Republic of Vanuatu would also be in the panel. So we have some other session on science and tech, agri, trade, industrial manufacturing, energy and infrastructure development, tourism and culture. Is going to be full. In the evening of that day, we have a special diaspora platform, diaspora networking event. It's going to be a cocktail. And you can be sure Nigerians know how to entertain people. There will be dances, there will be testimonies from the diasporans, exchange of views, artistic performance. There are some young people that are going to be displaying some dances that I'm sure everyone that will be present will be thrilled by the things that we expect. Day two, we are also going to have some keynote presentations. There's someone that will be speaking about deploying science and technology for Africa's transformation. A lady, Loy Nicholas, she's founder and president, the Woman Boss, CFA, Malaga in Spain. Then we have a panel discussion, the green imperative for Africa in the 21st century. Some of my good brothers are going to be there, Professor Hilary Yang, Professor Jimmy Adegoke, Professor of Geosciences, Department of Earth and Environment Sciences, University of Missouri, Kansas City, United States of America, and is also senior consultant, African Development Bank Group. Then the fourth session, special presidential advisor on diaspora affairs to the president of the Republic of Uganda would also be chairing a session that where you are going to have one of the most powerful men, Nigerian men in diaspora. That's my brother, my friend, the president of African Development Bank, Akomi Adishino. He will be talking about diaspora funding for Africa's development. If there's anything that we miss, no one would want to miss that. It's going to be explosive. And then later in the day, we'll be doing health, we'll do information and communication technology, we'll be doing education and youth development, finance, economic development and investment, and then we come to a closing ceremony. We close the program, and then we have one dinner and awards night that I know is unprecedented. Is going to be wow. So we are expecting everyone to come. So let me tell you about all the beautiful things that will happen here. You just need to be there.
So far, I keep saying this is impressive. You just keep impressing me and impressing the viewers, because this event is not just all about just come sit and let's talk. No, it's gonna be entertaining. It's educative, and that's very important, because this is you learn and you unlearn, which is beautiful. Thank you so much, Ma, for sharing that. That's beautiful. A question I have, as you were mentioning this, is I'm sure a lot of people that come, especially those that comes physically, who have questions to ask. So, do you think this event is going to be a question engagement event?
Yes, we expect that people are going to ask quite a lot of questions. They want to clear their minds on how the outcome of this event will be implemented. That it wouldn't be that they just came to talk, and that after all the talking, that no action takes place. We want to be able to give a commitment that we want to follow up with necessary action to be sure that we achieve the goals that are set, so that whatever it is that is in our communique can be, we can just be sure that it will be carried out as as listed and as committed. Some ask questions, they are even asking questions, the local questions, the usual questions of travels. We have our embassies all over the world have prepared for people that want to come, and a number of them have received visas. We have also received approval for visa on arrival for some few people that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs had cleared. And people also ask about accommodation, and we have put a lot of accommodation in place alongside security for those accommodations. So where we are putting people are places that we know are secure, where we know that they are safe, and they are also decent and reasonable in terms of cost for those that have to pay. Some are fully sponsored, so that when they come, they are coming into accommodation provided by the committee, the planning, which is fully sponsored by the federal government of Nigeria, as well as some other organization like OACPS is funding quite a number of things that they are handling in the program that we have. OACPS, I've said this about 2, 3, 4 times, Organization of African, Caribbean, and Pacific States. I've done that. And Minister of Foreign Affairs had given support in terms of getting all the necessary protocol extensions to various people to be sure that they get whatever is supposed to be extended to them.
Oh, thank you so much, Ma. You know, I'm tempted to ask a question. You've said so much, and I'm very, very impressed. And you keep impressing me and impressing the viewers. I'm sure of that. Um, you know, this kind of event, it takes a long time for you to plan and everything. And as you are the chair, like you said, you are the chairperson in of the planning committee. So I just want to know, how long did it take you to plan this event?
Okay, I mentioned already that we started the planning. Actually, we will say 2 years ago, but I would say effectively 18 months. We started the planning 18 months ago, and it's just as if the time hadn't even been enough. But more than anything else is because it was in the midst of a transition that hasn't even been concluded in Nigeria. We had our elections in February this year. Last year, we were campaigning. Various parties were being formed. So the whole of 2022, while we were doing all the preparation that we were doing, there wasn't much that could be done in terms of concrete definitions of what and what would happen at the time that we had fixed for this program. So 18 months down the line, we are getting close to where we're going. And thank God that is becoming a reality.
Yes, it is. So what made you to get involved with this event, and what's your take from this event?
Okay, as an individual, I take interest in the welfare and in the development of Nigerians. I've said this over and over. It's only the likes of Honorable Dr. Abike Dabiri Erewa that would be looking at the whole of Africa and all the Caribbeans and this and that. I think first and foremost, to where I started from, is my interest in Nigerians all over the world. And then it has started to extend to all the African countries. I have personal friends that are in diaspora. We have interacted on a number of issues, like Dr. Shem Ochodo. We were pioneers of internet in Africa. So I had known him through that, and we had interacted like that. And I've seen many other people from Uganda, from Egypt, from um, from Tunisia. So we had worked together with Africans like that, and a number of them were in diaspora. So I take delight in that. I also take delight in seeing the the achievements of people, quite a number of good things that Africans are doing all over the world, even young children that are outside of this country that are making waves. So I get excited when I see people that are creative, people that just make so much out of nothing. And they have troubles, and from their troubles, they come up with unimaginable inventions. And that gets me excited. And for all that I live for is that I want to see that people are happy. I want to see that Africa becomes what it's supposed to be with all the resources that we have. All that we require is that we have good leadership, and that we put all the resources together and we just move on. And particularly in recent times, because of technological development, we don't need so much to be able to do so much. Now it's the nations are looking at knowledge societies. So Africa, artificial intelligence, and so many things. And Nigerians and Africans in diaspora are making the difference. So we want to begin to showcase what we have to offer, and so that people don't think that we are still at the lower part of the ladder anymore, that will rise up and take our position at the top. So that's my take. That's what I want. I want to know more people. I want to see more things being done. And I just want to be able to rejoice with people that are rejoicing.
Thank you so much, man, for sharing that. For you, no, you're not being selfish, and you don't want an event that only only provides an interest for you, but you're talking about exposing, Africa globally, which is beautiful. The event speaks more about Africa in general. So, do you think in the future there will be a collaboration between Africa as a continent and the rest of the world?
Yeah, that's what we are driving at. We are pushing for that, that Africa will begin to stand on its own when we are talking about diaspora. Already Africa stands its own in a lot of sectors, and the African Union has all the parties and they have their times. So, but amongst the diaspora, that we can uniquely bring out Africa and then see Africa and the rest of the world, and African diaspora and the rest of the world. Where are they? How are they doing? And how are you putting everything together? We are looking forward to that, so that in some years to come, it will be part of the agenda of Africa Union, that we are looking at Africa, diaspora, and the rest of the world. So diaspora, diaspora is diaspora. An Egyptian in Nigeria is in diaspora. A, and an American that is here is also in diaspora, because his country is United States of America. So we want to be able to see how do we compare with all such people all over the world. That's the vision, and I hope we'll be able to achieve at least a little bit of it. By the time the next symposium comes on and it becomes like a summit or something, then it will gather momentum and then get to the peak.
Yeah, interesting. I'm sure even after this event, a lot of people will start reaching out to, for greater future collaboration. Um, So, do you think this the GAD will be a yearly event, or is just a once off, or how is it gonna be?
At the initial stage, we were thinking that it was going to be an annual event, but eventually, what we have agreed and which will be discussed at the symposium is that it should be biennial. So that means that it will be once in 2 years that we would hold this. Well, at the initial stage, I really wouldn't know how the discussion will go at the symposium. But our recommendation would have been that it should be annual to start with, so that for next year, we will name a country that will host the symposium. But we want to push it into the African Union agenda so that it becomes a line of discussion at the African Union. And that means that we can have a summit that will come up once in 2 years. We want it to be the African diaspora as the sixth region of the AU. That's what we want. And then we can be able to have the summit every 2 years. And it will now be an event of African Union.
Interesting. Pushing forward to have this future collaboration with the other continents, and with the rest of the world. We need our African stakeholders. So, what do you think is your appeal? What is your appeal to all strategic African stakeholders?
Our appeal is that everybody will rally around so that we can work together to get to the results. I think one of the issues that we have at stake in the African Union, the African region, is that we find it difficult to actually cooperate amongst ourselves. But Nigeria has always stood out to work at connecting every African country as much as possible, even with our resources. The land resources available to Nigeria, we still throw out some to be ensure that we are our brothers' keepers. So what we are saying is that we actually want all African countries to buy into this so that subsequently we can take it further and all of us can work together to get the kind of results that we want for Africa, that we can have an Africa that we are all very proud of. I am African and I'm proud to be African.
Interesting. Thank you so much, Ma. I myself, I really appreciate everything you've said. I'm really impressed and amazed about seeing someone like you who cares so much for for our fellow citizens like her, not just Nigerians but also Africans at large, which is beautiful. It's rare to see someone who is selfless to serve his or our country. Um, I know you've spoken so much about what we should expect from this event, but I want you to please, if you can, enlighten us more about what the viewers that are going to be joining via Zoom and so on, and also those that are attending the event. What do you think they'll be going home with after this event?
Well, I expect them to go home with a determination to have a connection of Africa with other nations of the world. I expect them to have met people, to have met individuals from all over the world, that they can go on in their relationship that should bring some results into professional results, interactions that could bring business enterprises, that could bring exchange of ideas all over the place, and then coming out of Nigeria to take a bit of the culture of Nigeria, the beautiful culture, food culture, variety of food that we have in Nigeria, dances that we have in Nigeria. We are not going to do just Nigeria. We're going to do some African dances. We are doing some African culture that people are going to see, and we'll just take that also along with us. And then to also know that we are brothers and sisters together in a particular continent. So we see ourselves as family, and we just rejoice that we can mingle, and we can take it on from there. Apart from all the technical things, that we'll just have fun, that we'll remember and say, yes, it was good coming to Nigeria.
Yes. Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you so much. Viewers, I'm sure you all are as impressed and amazed as I am, as with everything Mrs. Ibukun has told us about the events. This is an event you really want to be in, you know. But she has said, as she has made mention, for you to be involved in this event, you need to register. So if you have not registered for the events, this is a platform for you to watch this interview and also go and register. Click on that registration button, register for this event so that you can be able to attend this event. And also, she said you can also join via Zoom in case you're unable to attend the event physically. Thank you so much, Ma. This really appreciates you for joining us this today. I don't know if you have anything to share with us again before we leave.
Well, I just want to say a very big thank you for this opportunity, and I hope this will go into places so that many people can have a look at this, and then they could be able to at least join online. The program would be published on our website, so you can check on the website. I hope you'll be able to give the website address to uh, people, viewers, so that they'll be able to see that, and then just come and be part of the fun. I know that it won't be easy online to be able to eat our amala, ewedu, and all the things that we have to offer, all the Igbo food, all the Hausa food, and all the things that we're going to do. But at least you will see us eating them and you will be satisfied.
Hopefully, we'll celebrate and be satisfied indeed. Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you, viewers, for joining us. With Please, in case you haven't signed up to CleverNet TV, please, this is the opportunity for you to sign up so that you can watch this interview. And the link will be put on the screen so that you can also be able to register for the event. Thank you and good night.